Hello and welcome to the Grand Theft Badger server. It's good to have you guys here. I'm your host, Willie Bryan, and I'm going to be walking you through some basic steps to get started in both the Discord and our community on FiveM. First off, what we've got in front of us is the Discord. Upon joining, via taking the invite, which there will be one down in the description, as well as if you know anybody in the community, feel free to ask them to shoot you an invite as well. But it'll direct you to this page. So read this first page, which we say, we're glad to have you a part of the community, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you read through our server rules, check out the character info, and then once you make a character, let us know about it. Connection info is in our server info channel. The server controls are listed in the command section. You get the general idea. So Discord is like the bread and butter of how you're going to operate on our FiveM server. All of our authentication is done through Discord. Everything is connected to it in one form or another. And until you follow the steps outlined here, you can't make it any further. So to start things off, we would have a look at the server rules. Now, this is something I'm not going to sit here and read to you. You can read through this on your own. But our next step would be to go ahead and swing by the character creation screen, which is all the way down at the bottom. There it is, character in. So right here, what we're going to do is we're going to put together our character. So up at the very top, I think it's got a pinned message, or at least it should be pinned. So you're going to go ahead and fill out all of this. So we're going to make a character there. Like we can see right here is one of mine. So first name Willie, last name Bryan. The address, it's going to be in-game addresses. If you don't have one, just make one up. But mine is 1400 Vespucci Boulevard of Los Santos, which of course is the police station, which is hilarious. Date of birth, sex, height, weight, hair, eyes. And I know what you're thinking. Willie, why the hell would I make my character before I even boot up the game? Well, this is so we can go ahead and get you into the database. Most of our database procedure is held outside of the actual game client. So what that means is that we can update the database on the fly as the game's progressing, and we don't have to rely upon the in-game creations to actually make something happen. That's also how we allow for multiple characters. So all of it kind of links together, but once you fill all of this out and you confirm to the staff that you do, you'll receive the title whitelisted. So from here, once you have a whitelisted status, you can go to server info, you can copy the connection info right here at the very top. Once you've done that, you can launch your FiveM client. If you don't have it, feel free to download it. There's instructions on how to do so also in the Discord. We hit start. Now what you can do is you go to play, you put that address in. Once you've already done that once, it'll forever show up in your history. Come over to your history tab, it'll show right up at the top. We'll go ahead and get connected to it, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so now that you load it in, you'll see a screen similar to this one, where it'll say register first name, last name, date of birth, and height. Now, height is in centimeters, but it's not overly important for what we're going to be doing. You can do that computation if you want. So for this, we're just going to make up a random character for me. So we'll say this is Dale, last name Dale Earnhardt, date of birth 1968, I think 0630. Now we can separate these out with hyphens if we want, doesn't really matter. And the height is the last section. Dale Earnhardt's about 5'7", so he'd be 170. Once we hit register, it'll take us to this screen right here, which will allow the creation. We can use the number pad 4 and 6 to rotate around. And then starting from the top, you can choose your sex. You can pick a different face. Change your skin tone. Change your hair. Change the highlight to your hair. Change the color of your hair. Change your clothing. I recommend leaving t-shirt 1 alone. Come down here and start with, oh, let me see if I can find it. I think it's torso. Yeah, so I would start with torso, find something you like there, leave through. I would recommend, unless you are emergency services, don't pick something from emergency services. There are quite a few uniforms, and we do that for RP purpose. but I would go with something that genuinely just looks right to you, that you enjoy, so on and so forth. Bear in mind, these selections aren't permanent. You're more than welcome to change them in the future. I'm going to purposely pick something that's a little on the broken side. Alright, like here we go. We'll go with this vest. So we can see this vest doesn't quite look right. We can change the color by usually the option number 2. So we'll go ahead and make it like stupid blue. And then we'll come up and we'll start messing with t-shirt 1. Now we're going to look around until we find one like that actually works. That's not terrible. But we can look around and find something that fits. It doesn't look dumb on the model. That looks pretty dumb, but we'll go with that. I like it. Now we can come down here to arms. This is kind of important. You can find a set of arms that actually works for this, like those. We're just gonna double check, make sure they're not clipping through too bad. Not. I can live with all of that. Then we can move on to pants. Shoes. Mask if you want it, but I would recommend you don't. I wouldn't do the vest either. A chain if that's your thing. Glasses. You get the idea. Make your character into you. Or into your vision. Watch if you want it. Change your eye color. Change your eyebrows. Makeup, so on and so forth. You get the idea. You can do all of this customization here. Make your character look as cool or as dumb as you want it to. Don't really care. Once you're done, hit enter, and your character is created. Now my recommendation is from here. You hit the M key. It's going to bring up a ton of options for you. You find player related options. Go into player appearance. Go to save ped, and then give it a name. There you go. You're set to roll. So anytime you load into the game, if it doesn't load the correct character, you want to change characters, you can go into player appearance, and you can go into saved peds, find your character, like whatever it happens to be, Chuck Skater here, and you can load it up. That's all there is to it so far. So jump in next time for episode 2, and we'll go over some more of the features of the server. We'll get you further. Look forward to seeing you then. Thanks. Have a good night.